All right, thank you everybody for joining us today on another episode of the Owner's Manual. I am very blessed and highly favored to be here today at the Hot Box Social with the director of the Redemption Foundation, the secretary of the Great Lakes Expungement Network, and the president of Sons and Daughters United, Josey Scoggin.
Ooh, that's a resume. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here with you. And, you know, the Hot Box Social is hosting our sneaker ball this year. The first consumption lounge here in Michigan. How lucky are we?
You know, this is this the first sneaker ball?
It's also our first sneaker ball, yeah.
Couple first. Hey now.
Check out, are you going to show them your sneakers? Or is that what you're going to wear?
Oh, these are my everyday steppers. Oh, these are, oh man, you probably see me in these.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm just getting these off. But yeah, I've had these since about 2019, and they've just been my everyday steppers ever since. That's what I call them. Go to work in them, look good in them, might go out in them.
No, that
So yeah, I mean, you just hopped right into it too.
I'm excited.
I mean, what are you gonna wear for the sneaker ball?
Oh, I can't tell.
Can't
Why,
tell?
are you afraid we're going to wear the same thing?
Hey, I was more worried about the dress than anything. No, I'm kidding. But you know, I'm definitely coming. I gotta keep people on their toes. You know, I can't. You know, you can't let out the juice so easily.
I know.
I'm gonna go. I might have to do some shopping here soon because it's the sneaker ball. You know, everybody has seen me in every shoe that I own, so I gotta
You
come.
might have to just come. It's a good excuse.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely an expense. You have to expense that one. But, you know, you told us more about the events coming up at Hot Box Social, but tell us about yourself. I got you rolling up some weed here, but tell us about your history in cannabis.
So I was the first minor patient here in Michigan. I got my med card when I was 14. So I was very popular in high school if you're doing math. And at the time, remember, 2009 there was no Sanjay Gupta special. Giving cannabis to your kids was not something that was spoken about. They weren't talking about like seizures or cancer at that time. There was very little medical states. And here in Michigan, your parents have to be your caregivers.
Mm-hmm.
So my mom's so many things, but you know, she's not a criminal. She doesn't real good at weed. So we started a mission to find medicine, just any medicine in general, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And we were traveling around to compassion clubs and things like that, and really got involved in the community. I guess out of pure necessity to find medicine, to have a solid connection. You know, cannabis is, my mom and I are both disabled, and she was told that she would never have children, and she had me by 19. And so, you know, 20 years later, watching me lose my mobility was really difficult for her, but having the tools and the ability to legally help me through it was really big. So my mom reports using cannabis as early as the 90s in medical records and claiming that it helps her. And what's most interesting is that we give her like Marinol and stuff.
Gotcha.
And she would be like, this is not the same, I'm just smoking, you know, I'm gonna keep smoking joints or whatever. And remember, we live on the left coast, so all of our meat's coming from like Gary, Indiana.
Oh.
It's straight brick, yeah, you know, that's my big joke. I say like, I'm sorry if I forgot something, it's just my mom smoked so much mids in the room with me. Not even like mids, like straight swag, dude, like, struggle is real.
You know, say shouts outs to my boy Corey over at Pyramid. He was the first person that told me what swag was, because I did not know, and I think it was one of those good things. But
Pyramid does doinks, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God! So Jeremy, one of the reps there, we met him at Interchange, and he was gone the next day, and I was like, "Where were you at?" And he's like, "I just went and had a baby."
Oh man.
What? I was like, he just came, like, it was insane. He came to our Black Pie Social.
Nice.
You know, it's hard to, a lot of times we have to choose between the products, like the products that we get to represent and the people that we're representing, right?
Yeah.
But I think Pyramid is like top notch.
I do like Pyramid. I like their,
I like the staff, I like the products.
Yeah, the staff was great, and shouts outs to them. Side note, I want to say shouts outs to Ferndale for decriminalizing mushrooms. I see that you have a legalize it
Oh yeah.
crew neck on, and that's what reminded me. And I know from experience and other work that it took a lot of nonprofit lobbying work and stuff like that. So, can you tell me about your past work in nonprofits and like what you do in the Great Lakes Expungement Network?
Yes. So first of all, I wore this shirt because I thought if I worked, somebody might say, "Hey, Josie, do you like mushrooms?" And like, whatever. So
Hey, you want one?
still out there in case someone's like,
Mm-hmm.
just saying, I'll be in Hazel Park.
It's not her
And
birthday,
so-
but if you got what she's looking for, it's her birthday.
It's
So.
always my birthday, baby. So I got involved in cannabis as a whole, but really, my whole life's work surrounds around helping formerly incarcerated folks. My dad did 20 years in and out of Terre Haute, Indiana. He's a brown guy that likes cocaine, but I mean that's how that works out. And so all of my work comes from personal experience and the desire to the people on the inside are hardly the only ones affected, right? I want to create programs. I've always wanted to create programs for not only formerly incarcerated folks but for their families. So we launched Sons and Daughters in 2014 when I was 19 and I knew everything. It's a very good time in my life. And originally I launched that with Robin. Helped us launch that. Robin and Josh Covert, Robin Schneider, and Josh Covert. We launched it as and with a completely different mission, which is our parents use cannabis and they have the right to do so.
Yeah.
And we wanted to, out of that, we started doing free legal care and putting money in the books for, like doing JPay payments and paying people to stay connected to their loved ones.
Nice. Yeah, I definitely got love for the two that you mentioned, Robin Schneider and Josh Covert. Robin is who introduced me into the cannabis industry on the legislative side, and Josh Covert helped me beat a case back in 2021. So shouts out, appreciate that.
And both of their parents used cannabis, and they came out to be phenomenal leaders out in and outside of the cannabis industry. And that was really the mission of Sons and Daughters in the OG days.
Nice.
We launched our scholarship program in 2017, $5,000 a semester for people affected by a elimination policy, which says if you have more than one misdemeanor drug crime, you're not eligible for FAFSA or student loans that you have to pay back.
Yeah.
Okay. In a country that people make more money when we make more money. So stupid. And I did my crime, did my time. That's really also what the expungement network is, and how long we'll have to pay for that. So, we launched we launched the Great Lakes Expungement Network in 2021. It was originally supposed to be launched under the Redemption Foundation. We saw 300 applications in our first 3 days.
Really? So you knew that like this was a service that needed, like resources put into it.
So we spend an average of $1,350 per client.
Is this 1,300?
Yeah,
Okay.
$1,350.
Got you.
It's $500 a flat rate for every. I'll take a lighter. For every application that we file, and that's just directly to the attorney, and then $100 for us to house the misdemeanor marijuana sale.
Okay.
And so, believe it or not, no one goes to prison one time, statistically. And so we're never paying for just one expungement. In fact, we're almost paying for, it's like 2.7 or something on average.
Wow.
And so when we got 300 in the first 3 days, that was almost $350,000 worth of clients.
Yeah.
So we quickly filed a new LLC, a new 501c3, a new nonprofit, the Great Lakes Expungement Network, which is truly that, a network, a collection of nonprofits, community agencies, cannabis companies, businesses, professionals dedicated to helping Michiganders get a clean slate, whatever that means, right? So maybe they're paying the attorneys, maybe they're the attorneys that are filing themselves. Maybe they're doing intake or volunteer work. and I took my position at the Redemption Foundation sometime last year as a director. We're all big fans of Ryan Basor, so if you don't know, he did 4 years, sentenced to 4 years in federal prison for growing cannabis here in Michigan. He was a licensed and true caregiver. There's no medical marijuana in federal. And that's the thing, cannabis should be affordable, it should be accessible,
Yep.
it should mean something, and it can mean something. And when people are making money off of cannabis while people are still in jail, and I mean people, even myself, just like working as an employee or whatever, there's an obligation, right? To either have skin in the game, meaning I can come to your house on a Tuesday and pick up a zip, or you went to jail for this shit, or to put your money where your mouth is if you don't.
Right.
And so Ryan does both. 10% of the proceeds from Redemption Cannabis will go back to the Redemption Foundation, which is what makes up majority of our budget.
Mm-hmm.
And all we do at the foundation is create services for current and former cannabis prisoners through the GED program, of course our expungement program, and then this April we're doing an official launch, although we did a soft launch already, on our prisoner support program.
Awesome. I love that.
We provide direct commissary support, direct commissary payments to current federal cannabis prisoners, just like Ryan. So like Danny Trevino is near and dear to my heart.
A Lansing legend.
So we launched with him, and if you don't know, Danny was sentenced after legalization in federal court for 15 and a half years. His daughter will be 20 years old when he gets out of prison. And he ran a string of just incredibly successful provisioning centers, dispensaries, up to 32 at his height in all areas of the state. But his main stage is in Lansing.
Mm-hmm.
And what Danny did best was he understood the consumer, you know?
Yeah, he did. I will say, one of my first experiences in a dispensary was at Danny Trevino dispensary, and I remember the whole layout was just different. You know, he welcomed the caregivers in so they could set their own shop, and it was like, and it was their own competition, and I think everybody enjoyed it because like you got that instant feedback, but.
And you know, cannabis is a lot of people believe cannabis, like myself or my mother, maybe, to be a necessity, right? And so when you understand the consumer being, well, you know, when cannabis was first legalized, there was a big notion to create products for people that haven't smoked weed ever in their life. Like the new idea was to convince 70% of America to start smoking pot. And so they were selling like $400 ounces and like micro dose, whatever, like tiny 0.2 gram joints, whatever. And it wasn't until people started realizing, hey, wait, the consumer is like Josey's mom, who buys 6 ounces of weed on the first and wants 6 more by the 15th.
Right.
You know, people that think it's a necessity, that love it, and buy it no matter what, you know?
My problem, you know, gets, because I definitely agree, it is a necessity. It is a lifestyle, like, tool that helps me get through my worst days. But I never want that standard to go down. Like, just because like I know I'm gonna take a dab doesn't mean I'm just gonna like dab anything. Like, it's important to, you know, look for that quality. You know?
Free weed ain't always
So,
the best weed. That's very good.
So, what are some of your favorite brands, Josey?
Ooh, okay. So Redemption is obviously top shelf, especially if Ryan's watching.
Hey, we love Ryan.
High key, my favorite product on the market, sorry Ryan, are the half and half pre-rolls by Element. They're half live resin and half flower. I bought my weight, which is, I don't know, a lot, I think. I bought as many as they would let me buy at Progro, or Pure Options. And it's the cheapest place in the state also to get them. Because Element's a top-notch brand, so it's a little bit higher, but it's totally worth it.
Now, are any of your favorite brands something to look for at the Sneaker Ball?
Yeah, all of them. In fact, I handpicked all of the brands for the VIP bags. So I've got like all my favorites: Old School Organics, Archive, Tree Town. I got Triple Phoenix coming in. They do freeze-dried Skittles and dried fruits. Oh, you know, in a market full of distillate gummies, I'm so excited to offer more options. You know, fast-acting gummies, baked goods, and then we've got Liquid Loud from Northern Connections, and
Nice.
we've got Turple Gang bringing some hash rosin infused, like live resin, ice water hash flavors.
Okay.
And Fire and Ice is a new company, like Green Co Ventures. They're doing rechargeable, disposable babes. Live resin, of course. And then we've got the Relief Solutions Bigfoot Bats, which Tom made in honor of my desire to smoke 2 grams at a time, no matter what.
Yeah, I'll just say, this joint she rolled, and it's definitely better than mine because I need mine with the filter to even be great. She rolled hers, and it looks exactly like something you would swing at the plate at Wrigley Field, and I'm only proud.
So I got my card right my freshman year of high school, and so I was selling weed, allegedly.
Allegedly.
I was allegedly selling weed to all my friends and their friends, and
I was
nobody
gifting
knew how
it.
to roll, So I used to roll up the bags for them and take I'll trade you if I roll it up and I'll get 2 trays out of it, right? So I used to roll up their bags all the time, and I was at a party one time and I do the boat method, so it's I don't know, like this.
Yeah.
And they were making fun of me about it, and I was like, you guys, you motherfuckers can't even fucking roll.
So wait a minute, you had people that didn't know how to roll making fun of you for how to roll?
Yeah, because I was using the boat. So flash forward a year and a half later, Wiz Khalifa does a motherfucking joint rolling video.
Okay,
Guess what he does?
He does the boat
He
method.
does the fucking boat. Oh, now I'm cool. Yeah, bitch. I know.
So you heard it here first. So we're talking about what, 2009?
So yeah, 2009, 2010. I also tried to do Snoop Dogg did an open hiring for his blunt roller, which I applied for, which I obviously didn't get because I was 16. I had very high ambitions,
What's the most joints you think you could roll in an hour?
So I guess it depends on if I'm running my mouth the whole time or if I'm just rolling joints, and how sticky the weed is. I've been getting such good weed that I have to re-roll it 100 times because I keep ripping the damn papers. And that's how there's so many things on the market, and value brands absolutely have a spot, but there's so many good things that you can get for an affordable price that is just impressive, And it should be like that. You should smoke it and be like, damn, what is this? And there's no correlation between the quality and the amount that they're charging on the shelf. Well, for the most part. Of course, there's always top tier stuff that is grown differently, that costs more to grow. Old School does hand mixing and hand watering for all their stuff. Hand trimming. They have a team of 12 people. They're gonna be here for the sneaker ball.
Nice.
And they're putting weed in the bags.
Can't wait.
Ooh.
Ooh-wee. Now, one thing I'm very familiar with is going to Ann Arbor. And another thing I'm familiar with is seeing you at Hash Bash.
Oh my gosh.
And can you tell us about what ways you're going to be a part of it this year and your history with it?
Yes. So my first time I ever went to Hash Bash, I was 14, so it would have been 2009. It was the biggest, it was enormous. It was so many people that looked like me, for one. That was the biggest thing for me with medical marijuana was I'm always the only person in a wheelchair now, but at the time it was so many people that I don't know, it was really cool. I really appreciated that. And everybody was really nice. They all loved weed, so we had all these things in common.
Yeah.
And there was a woman on the stage. Her name's Renee Wolf. She has MS. She had MS. She passed away in 2013. And she was like, cannabis is me, it saved my life. And she took like 4 steps, and it was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do something here, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a very sacred thing for everybody here in Michigan and probably in the Midwest. Adam Brook famously calls it the largest unadvertised event in the world. There's estimates of 30,000 people attending the event between Hash Bash at the Diag and the Monroe Street Fair. We started being a part of it with Sons and Daughters in 2014, so like the year after we had launched. Whoa, that means 9 years. 9 years, God. This is our 9th year participating.
Wow.
The Great Lakes Expungement Network itself, we've got to get really creative about how we raise money. We're raising a lot of money, but we're just getting like 5 to 7 applications a day. And so the math is hard to math out. So we came up with the idea to do a Hash Bash treasure hunt. And so the treasure hunt runs from March 29th until April 3rd. There's 8 dispensaries, 12 cannabis gifts. So I've got everything from, like, high key, my whole pitch was, I can't do Hash Bash without hash. And then I had to call people back and be like, hey, all I have is hash with this fucking tour, Everything is so good. So we've got everything from edibles and hash rosin to bubble hash, live resin infused joints. Shout out to Winewood Organics. And again, all my favorite brands, Light Sky Farms, Archive, Sticky Mitten, Tree Town. There's no shortage of good quality cannabis on the market right now, and there's no shortage of it on this list, right?
Right. Hey, now.
We also have 2 smoke shops, Bongs and Thongs and Wildside. They're right next to each other. Both of them are giving out free gifts with your map. Shout out to Mo, who's also providing the giveaway items for the second place prize. He's the best. And we teamed up on our maps with Peace, Love, and Little Donuts. Have you been able to have any of their stuff?
It sounds like I am going to in the near future.
So they have a shop in Traverse City. They have a shop in Kalamazoo, and they just opened in July here in Ann Arbor. So they've never
Really?
done a Hash Bash.
Okay.
You get a free donut. Maybe I don't know if I'm supposed to talk. A free donut any kind though. Like they have 32 varieties.
32?
And they top it in front of you.
Oh man, they give
I'm
top
so
in front of you?
excited.
No, I'm
Yes.
kidding.
And so we're also working with Vertex Coffee again. So even if you don't get the map and you're in Ann Arbor, please go see Kara at Vertex. She's doing a Hash Bash themed coffee. Some of the proceeds will go back to the Great Lakes Expungement Network. The maps are $40. They also include a free ticket to the Hash Bash Cup, which is $50 on its own. And
Interesting.
so
Say that one more time. Say that one more time. The Hash Bash treasure hunt map is
$40.
$40.
And it includes a single day ticket to the Hash Bash Cup, which is $50 value on its own. It runs for 5 days. 100% of the proceeds from the maps come to us. It's free without purchase at each spot. Or a penny, Laura, in case, the state's listening. A penny. And then it's more than just cannabis, right? Some places are giving multiple gifts. Everybody wanted to be involved this year, so we were very selective on who we chose to partner with. 100% of the people that we went to from last year were right on board from again this year. We sold 230 maps last year in like 11 days. So we're hoping with more time we have a little bit more leeway.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we are the only nonprofit. We're like the theme at Hash Bash Cup this year. So
Is it cup? Like Hash Bash cup?
At the Cup, yeah, at the Wyndham Hotel, right next to Cureleaf, right off 94, right across from the.
Is this a first or is this an annual thing? I don't think.
I think this is the 5th annual
The
Hash
5th.
Bash Cup,
Hash
but I don't
Bash
really
Cup.
know because before it was the Hash Bash Cup, it was like where Normal stayed, and they would have like the spring meeting and you would just smoke weed in there as a carry-on anyways.
Man, I just want to say, I'm ripped right now.
But we do have a couple more too.
I just want to say I watched Josey roll, and I promise you she still pulled one out of her sleeve because there's two, but I only watched her roll one, and I'm pretty observant, so like that was pretty quick. Man, there's something I gotta learn. That's pretty impressive.
I'm so excited. I'm glad to be on the show. You know, Tati, the producer, and I went to high school together, and
You know, Tachi's actually doing a how to roll at the Copper House
for Rush Week.
For Rush Week.
That's what I was leading up to. Whoa. Are you reading my mind?
I think we might be the same mind. I don't know.
Holy crap.
We might be the last two brain cells, just like. No.
That's exactly what I was leading up to. I'm so excited. You know, Jess is on our is on our board for the Great Lakes Expungement Network, and she's been so supportive of our mission. And Copper House is near and dear to my heart. And if you haven't been there, you should definitely book here in Detroit. And Rush Week is one of the best events, I think. It's an event every day for a week. The last week in March, they have everything from joint rolling to brand building. I'm really excited.
Yeah, I like that it's a safe space, you know, for anybody. And
it is.
That's the thing. I'm a straight male, so there's a lot more out there for me than other people that might find Copper House interesting. But I love Jess and everything that she stands for, and it's like a big collaborative network. Shouts outs to Bree.
You know, Bree's on the west side just like me, and she worked on our holiday drive this year. And I've been doing this for 7 years, and you know, I don't have it all together, but I do think I'm the shit sometimes.
Hey, no.
And she came in, and she was like, "Girl, I want to do a wrap party," and I was like, "Okay." She convinced people to bring wrapping paper and tape and scissors, do like 4 hours of free labor for us, bring food and weed for everybody, and then thank us for it. It was insane. She's the best. And she was like, people want to help.
You know, she is. Shouts outs to Bree and say,
I'm glad to meet her before she's famous and like.
Just a champagne flame. Yeah, and that's really what kind of like the owner's manual is really all about. Is kind of like bringing people together because it was the interview where I interviewed Jess. Like that was like the first like time I even like brought Tati on board. We all came out to interview Jess, and that's where Bree asked Jess about doing like a brand ambassador program and stuff like that, and it was just kind of like everything was history. So just bringing people together, you know, people that like should be connected is kind of like, you know, if I can help any way, I might as well, you know.
And you know, there's so many people in the industry with untapped skills that want to be involved, right? That are either don't know how or aren't being highlighted in their current spots.
Right.
And then there's so many people that don't fucking belong here, that are just like holding board meetings. They don't smoke weed. They don't pretend to smoke weed. And I'm like Bill Clinton at least did that. And it's a different, what it is, what it comes from is them participating in other markets where nobody else smokes weed, where, you know, in Colorado, California, I mean, Oregon has an incredibly accessible spot in terms of ownership.
Do you want any more of this?
I've got another one.
Yeah, I was gonna say you definitely should have lit another one by now. So, tell us about what you rolled up there, because I'm gonna say one was light green and then you just pulled out some purple.
So my caregiver has such good genetics. So just to I understand, like when somebody's like, oh, it's Gorilla Glue, it's like, yeah, okay.
Stop. That's one of my favorite strains of all time.
I have like, it's an original cross of Gorilla Glue #4, and then the Trop cookies. The Trop is so good. But look at this. This is like,
that smells
Trop usually grows in like weird. I don't know what the cross of this is, but it's like very dense buds. It's so dense I can't get it out of the damn jar. Also, shout out to Ryan. Look at these jars. so you don't like the light isn't penetrating.
Mm-hmm.
It smells dank as shit in there.
Right.
So I know I should be invited to more parties. Jesus.
Hey, no.
I'm saying.
We definitely know how to have a good time. What's we say on the we're going down the list of events for.
I want to tell people how to buy the maps.
Okay. So what's the best place to?
SonsandDaughtersUnited.org/#treasure hunt. I know that's a mouthful, so it's SonsandDaughtersUnited.org/#treasure hunt. You could also find the Facebook event or find it on Instagram. And there's tickets, the ticket link there. And you can buy them anywhere at any of the 8 dispensaries plus Bongs and Thongs and Wildside. So that's a pocket there. Arborside, Bloom City Club, Cureleaf,
Apothecary?
Sticky, yes.
Cool. I was just there.
They are, they're kind of a little bit further outside of Ann Arbor, not outside of Ann Arbor, but just on the other side of where the Diag is.
Yeah.
And so last year they were so good. They had like a variety of gifts to pick from, and we're so excited to work with them again this year. And T-Dog did all the art for it, all the original art, and so I'm so excited. I'm so glad that we get to do this, and that somebody didn't come in and create this for a profit-making scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Cash Bash is a sacred time, so free weed and expungements.
Yeah, free weed and expungements, and it's a great way to just learn more about the city of Ann Arbor, because the first time I went, I was so overwhelmed. It was like, now I gotta go back next year, and I think I've been like biting off pieces and pieces of like just like where to go. So like having like a map and just like a guided way makes everything kind of like a lot easier, and like having an itinerary, and it's from like March 29th through August 3rd April 3rd. I said August. I do that a lot. So March 29th through April 3rd.
So you don't have to do it during the big game, and you don't have to do it during Hash Bash. You can do it beforehand. I don't have a lot of them. I only have 750 of them. And pre-sale started, and we sold, I don't know how many, but quite a few. And so what we're hoping for is that people will get out, they'll find new things, they'll find new products that they didn't know about, products that they wanted to try, but didn't know if it was going to be worth the cost.
Yeah.
And then most importantly, experience new things that they haven't done before. So I'm excited for people to go and see Mo's shop, Bongs and Thongs in Ann Arbor. I'm excited for them to go and check out Peace, Love, and Little Donuts. Come see us at the Hash Bash Cup. And we're selling all of our Fuck the System shirts and our Fuck Cancer shirts again. We'll be at the Monroe Street Fair, which is a favorite both for staff and also for the community as a whole, right?
Mm-hmm. So I got a question about expungement. So I think it was in 2021, Governor Whitmer's changed the laws a little bit and help people out, letting people who had like a first offense for a DUI be eligible for expungement. When that happened, did you see more applications, or is that kind of when Great Lakes Expungement kind of started?
So, first and foremost, nobody applies for expungement that isn't looking for something, right? Isn't like seeing a barrier.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's about 1 in 3, a little less than 1 in 3 folks that apply for expungement at all through our program have at least one DUI, impaired driving of some sort. All impaired driving is the same in terms of expungement qualifications. So if it's an OWI, if it's a BAC, which is like a minor in possession of alcohol at all, while driving, and so it all counts as the same. So it's 1 or none. But originally, that was supposed to go through in the original bills in April of 2021. But there was a lot of backlash from it. Mad Mothers Against Drunk Driving was like camping out on Whitmer's fucking lawn and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And so she vetoed it. And so it came back again because it really does affect such a high percentage of people.
Yeah.
And so I don't know that I saw more folks applying because I don't think people understood that it was vetoed in the first place. They just felt that that was a thing. I saw more people eligible, right? I had to do, I think we spent like at least 3 or 4 weeks going back through everybody and making sure that we didn't tell somebody they were ineligible based on their DUI.
Gotcha.
And that's the other thing is that people also falsely believe that that either these things fall off or that time is the only factor. But expungements, with the exception of misdemeanor marijuana crimes, are whole picture. Meaning a traffic offense that you get today can affect your expungement from 13 years ago.
Say that one more time, please.
So the traffic offense that you get today, so anything that happens today can affect what happened. Like, here's my best example. I have a client in the UP. He is 70 years old. His only crime ever in his whole life was growing weed under the Caregiver Act of 2013. And so he called me for an expungement, and I was like, heck yeah. I pull up his record. He has him driving without motor security, driving without insurance, with motor security. And so in 2020, in like the peak of the fucking pandemic, and because of that, he has to wait 3 more years until he paid off those fines. And then he has to expunge that driving with motor security first, and then he can do the felony. He can't, nothing is independently eligible.
Jeez.
So, if you need an eligibility screening, give us a call. We've never lost a case. We've done over 800 expungements.
So you're saying you're over 800 and 0. Never lost one.
Yeah. We work with 8 different law firms. Primarily, we're working with Paul Telinda at Telinda Law Show. Here in Detroit. I'm from West Michigan. All of this is Detroit to me.
So, okay.
I kept telling people I'm going to Detroit, and they're like, I thought you were going to Hazel Park. I was like, I feel like... So I'm sorry, Detroit.
Yeah, but hey, shouts outs to Hotbox Social for having us in Hazel Park. Sneaker Ball is March 18th. So yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to figure out if I have any more questions because I am honestly pretty cooked right now. And thank you for answering that because that cleared a lot of stuff up for me.
So I just want to remind everybody they can buy our maps at sonsanddaughtersunited.org/#treasure hunt or at ticketstripe.com/GlenTreasureHunt, GLEN for Great Lakes Expungement Network. If you or a friend needs an expungement, please visit us at theredemptionfoundation.org/expungement. If you are looking to get involved, give a girl a call. Okay? Josey at theredemptionfoundation.org. I appreciate being here. If you see Redemption in the store, please buy it. Jeez, it's good quality cannabis for an affordable price. And, it's important to know who's making money off that stuff. Who's behind it.
All right.
So, thanks for having me.
Yes, and thank you for joining me today, and thank you guys for watching. Follow me on all social media platforms at SilkSwade, SILKSWADE, and catch us on the next one. Peace out.
Thank you.
Uh-oh.